Here we are now.
Here we are now. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Fuel for Success. This is episode number 296 on a beautiful Thursday morning in June. I hope it's as beautiful where you are as it is where I am, although I doubt it because I live in God's country, the great state of Minnesota. Hey, welcome, everyone, and it's good to see everybody. It's good to see my good friend, Matt Maddox, who's here with us, and he's behind the scenes broadcasting this also on Periscope, which is cool. We're doing like a multimodal, multifaceted. Y'all can't keep up with us. That's all I got to say.
It's all about, you just might as well accept you can't hang with us. Yeah, hit Mike and I both up on Periscope. If you don't have the app Periscope, download it now. And all you got to do is follow us, Matt Maddox and Mike Hopkins. And we bring content. Yesterday I did a deal on Periscope called The Power of Focus. I gave people a tour at Whole Foods, Mike, on Periscope yesterday. Took them in the gas station while I was buying some water, talked to them about why I don't do vitamins, and took them on a little tour of my gym, and you name it, man. Just trying to bring some live television to people out there.
And probably the best way is if you follow us on Twitter, you'll get our Periscope announcements. So Matt Maddox is at Matt Maddox. I'm at MJ Hopkins. Follow us on Twitter. You want to follow us on Twitter anyway. Come on, let's be honest. I mean, we might do live Periscope. We might, I might take a selfie with me and a fish. You never know. You don't want to miss that.
You never know what Mike Hopkins will do.
That's right. Hey, it's great to see everybody. And today is Thursday. We're going to be generally talking about business development, entrepreneurship, and things related to that in the facet of success because we want you to be successful. And I noticed that Pacey was saying she needed a little petrol this morning, a little pick-me-up, a little fuel, a little fire for her success. And that's what we're here for. We're here to serve, to give. We're ready to roll.
Hey, Mike, we April Fools our followers. I think we should let them know. We were kind of teasing with them that we were going to close down Fuel for Success for a while, but absolutely not. We're excited every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday. Mike and I were just on a little vacation. Mike was out in the mountains, or not the mountains, but in the forest, I guess, right? And I was on a little road trip, but Mike and I, don't forget, next week we'll be here every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 9:30. So if you guys, if you're watching live, don't forget you can ask questions. You can type in your questions. You can email them in. You can text them in. But don't forget, every Tuesday, Mike and I talk about health and weight loss. Every Wednesday, we talk about family and relationships. And every Thursday, we talk about business and entrepreneurship. And then also once a week, we do a health and weight loss seminar at night. And tonight just so happens to be the night that we're going to be talking about the 10 habits of healthy people. You're not going to want to miss this because here's the law of cause and effect. If you want what successful people do, then all you have to do is do what success. If you want what successful people have, I was reading a little notice from Spreecast right there. Sorry. If you want what successful people have, all you have to do is do what successful people do, and it's so true. If you just learn the habits of successful people, in this case, healthy people, well, I'm going to bring to you tonight, Mike and I both, the 10 habits of healthy people. And it's going to really be very encouraging. You're going to get a lot out of it. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to be motivated. You're going to be inspired. It's a little kick in the butt, a little reminder that nothing is more important than your health. Nothing.
That's right. And moment of transparency. I'm looking all over for my pencil, like everywhere. I'm like, where's my pencil? I got to take some notes. And then I look at the screen and I'm like, okay.
Letting you know, Mike, your pencil's in your ear. I meant to tell you that
Thanks.
before the show.
Thanks. I appreciate that. Hey, well, let's jump into some questions. And as always, if you're watching live, feel free to ask questions. We'd love to hear the questions that you have live, and we'll give priority to our, our live viewers. If you're watching later on the archives or you're listening on the podcast, you can text us, 727-341-5599, or get your questions in, and we will get them on air as quickly as we possibly can. Without further ado, Let me
Without
ask you
further ado,
first question.
here
First
comes the
question that
first
came in
question.
here.
You that are Periscope, here it comes. If you can't hear it, I'll repeat it. Go.
So we're talking about business development, entrepreneurship, and I think, and we've both talked about one of the, if you really want to be successful, one of the things you want to do is find your passion, follow your passion. But how important really is it to believe in your product or service and to have passion in your product and service if you're going to be an entrepreneur, even if you're going to be a salesman working for someone else? How important is that?
All right, you that are in Periscope, Mike just asked how important it is to believe in your product or service and to have passion for it. Mike, I have evaluated the sales world. I've been in the sales world a long time. I have received amazing, like almost impossible to turn down offers to sell things that I had to turn down. That I could have quadrupled my income, could have probably bought $1 million house. And I'm not even kidding. The reason why I turned it down is because there's no way possible that you can truly sell something long term that you don't believe in and that you don't have enthusiasm and passion for. You know, a lot of people feel like they're failures in sales, and in reality, they're probably just selling something because they need a job or the commission is good, but in actuality, they don't really believe in what they're selling. Mike, you have to believe in it as much as you believe in anything else. I mean, it's got to burn so deep inside of you, your passion, because Mike, there is a lot of rejection in sales. It's a grind. There's a lot of patience involved. There's a lot of, follow up. There's a lot of, they say you got to hear the word no at least 9 times before a sale is made. Most people don't have the patience for that. So believing in something motivates you to talk about it. Like, it's not hard to talk about what you believe in. It's not hard to talk about what your passion. See, when you're enthusiastic and passionate about your product and service, you literally feel like you're committing a crime by not telling other people about it. Like last night, my Health 90 was so burning in my soul that I literally felt like anybody that's not in my Health 90 is missing. It's like living without air conditioning. That's how bad it is. And I'm talking about even skinny people. I literally believe in it that much that I feel sad for people that aren't in it. I almost want to just stop people and be like, do whatever it takes to get them in it. Like, when you get to that point, Mike, when you believe in something so bad that your heart hurts that they don't have it, not because of my pocketbook, but because I know that this product and service could save their life and change their life. So that, my friends, is why I believe it is necessary that you sell. And if you're in sales right now and if you're selling cars and you don't like believe in the cars that you're selling, or if you're selling, a certain, I don't know what it is. I don't know if you're selling like AT&T and inside your heart you think Verizon is better, but AT&T is paying better. You're not going to succeed, my friends. You're not. Like, people, another thing, Mike, about people, they can read us. Nowadays, you can't hide from people. They're too smart. People are so smart nowadays and so in tune that phony, fake, anything deceptive, anything less than 100%, they can feel. They can feel it. And so that's why it's so important for you to believe and, absolutely have enthusiasm for what you're selling, my friend.
I like that. And one thing real quick before I jump to Tommy's question, you mentioned that, there are people who maybe aren't successful in sales because they don't believe in their product or service. I believe that that's a big part of it. Also remember that there are, if you want to be super successful, you have to believe in your product or service. You also have to execute well. So there's, a two-sided thing. Because I've seen people that are super passionate about something that couldn't sell anything just because their technique was wrong, their thought process was wrong, the way that they approached it was wrong. And luckily we've covered some of those things. Hey, Periscope people, we've covered some of those things in past shows.
Mike Hopkins. He's my co-host of Fuel for Success. We do this show together every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. He is a machine. He is part animal. He's a freak. He's a beast. He's nuts. He's crazy, but he's awesome. I can tell you that right now. I've known him for a long time. I knew him before nobody liked him.
Which was yesterday.
Because, hey,
Hey, follow-up question on that coming in from our good friend Tommy from out in Virginia.
thanks for the retweet as well. Go ahead. I'm listening. You had a
Sorry, I'm
question?
interrupting you. Yeah. From our good
Take
friend
care.
Tommy out in Virginia. Is your why, in air quotes, more important than passion for your product or business?
Your why. I think you can't separate the two because I just did a video blog on, the power of why or, something like that. And anyways, the why is tied to passion. It's tied to the belief. But yet, at the same time, sometimes not so much because you could know that someone needs something and you not really be too excited about, sharing it. Case in point, life insurance. Mike, I could be a multi-millionaire in life insurance. I could, if I decided today that I was going to go sell life insurance, I promise you, because I believe wholeheartedly, I believe it from head to toe, that any man that has a wife or a kid or anybody in general, like Mike, I literally want to look at men that have wives and kids that don't have life insurance, and I could talk them into it in 3 minutes. Like I so believe that people need life insurance. So there's there's obviously there's a why there. You know what I'm saying? But the passion for like going out and doing it, I'm not sure if it's there. Even though I believe they need to have it, and I know the why behind it, and I could sell the why all day long. I could talk to 100 people a day about it and probably not get tired. But to try to compare the passion level of helping people get healthy and lose weight to selling life insurance, you get it, Tommy? So just because you know the why of something doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have passion for it. Or even, but I do have passion, believe me, but it's not as strong. And that's another thing. You're going to have multiple passions in life. People say, well, you're so good at sales, you could sell ice cream to an Eskimo. And I'm like, that is not a compliment because a good salesman would never try to sell ice cream to an Eskimo. Now I could sell an Eskimo a blanket or a heater, or a coat or some gloves or a hat. Good salespeople only sell people what they need and also what people want. I don't think an Eskimo necessarily wants ice cream. And that's just an old cliche that's lingered around the sales world forever. But Mike, at the end of the day, when it comes to sales, there has to be a conviction, there has to be a passion, and there's going to be multiple passions. But you've got to go deep and you've got to ask yourself, okay, what do I believe in more than anything on the planet? Like I would talk to any human being. I would approach the wealthiest. I would approach celebrities. I would approach strangers because I believe in this so much. It's got to get to the hands of every person. I mean, literally, Mike, that's seriously the way people have to view sales. What are your thoughts on that?
Well,
Any
I actually
questions
want to
out
get to
there? Go
I
ahead,
want to get
Mike.
to I want to get to Britton's question in just a second that she's got down below, but I've got a quick follow-up question and just like to paint a scenario, and it's something that you and I are familiar with, of course, because we've been doing entrepreneurial stuff for a while, and speak to the entrepreneur or the salesman out there that had a burning passion for their product or service, and they've been in the grind for months, like they've been in the trenches, and you know how it is. It's brutal sometimes. You get bruised and you get beat up, and you have successes and you have failures and you have massive swings of momentum. And after months of that grind, sometimes that passion wears down. How do you renew that passion for that product, for that service that you're trying to get into the market, that you're trying to get people to know about? you speak to that?
I can speak to that because I've lived it. And for those that are watching on Periscope right now, the question that Mike asked is, look, when you're an entrepreneur and you're in sales, there's a grind. You have a lot of setbacks. It's tiring. You work a lot of hours. And, what happens when you lose your passion? How do you renew your passion? Mike, this is a bit challenging for me because I truly live by passion. Everything I do is because of passion. That I know what it's like to get tired. I know what it's like to feel a little. Mike, I don't let disappointment linger. I really don't. I don't let bad things linger too long. And that's got to be a key there. That there's a mental toughness that anybody that's successful has to develop. There's a focus, there's a positivity. Like people that are extremely successful in business, it's like what Winston Churchill said, the key to success is going from one failure to another without losing enthusiasm. How many times have multi-millionaires had major setbacks, went broke, lost a big sale, didn't close on a deal? How many multi-millionaires out there right now have slept in their cars before? Have lost their homes. I mean, Paula Dean. I mean, she's a multi-millionaire. She's had 3 cars repossessed. She's had 2 houses in foreclosures. Not because she's some horrible money manager, because sometimes that's the life of an entrepreneur, Mike, that when you're going for it all, there is a high risk, high reward element, and there's a crossover that you reach in your business where you say, okay, I'm burning the ships, I'm selling out, nothing else matters. This is all I'm going to talk about. This is all I'm going to do 24/7. So how do you renew your passion? Well, this is why I teach people to read their goals every day. I have a vision board that literally sits right in front of my computer. I'm very, meditation. In my meditation, I continually visualize my dreams and my goals. I don't allow here's what will help you renew your passion is when you truly believe in yourself and you know that you've got the goods, that you're going pro, that it's just a matter of obscurity right now. Once people discover you, that it's over. So when you go through the low times, the setbacks, whatever, you don't lose your passion because you know that no matter how it looks right now, I'm going to the top. And also, you don't lose your passion when you read, when you associate with the right people. This is why having a partner is so good. I mean, there's times when I might feel just a little blah, and Mike's like, let's go, man, let's hustle, let's try this thing, and then vice versa, and so at the end of the day, Mike, I don't know if it's like, I think there's a combination of ways to renew your passion, but I think it even goes deeper to when you have true passion, you almost don't need to renew it much. When you have true passion, the subject of burnout and renewing your passion, passionless people are the ones you got to motivate every week. They're the ones that you've got to give the rah, rah, rah speech, and they need their fix and whatever. But I will tell you this. I think what fuels me continuously is that every day of my life, I am following people that jack me up, that motivate me. I watch their YouTubes, their Periscopes, their Meerkats, their Twitters, their Facebooks. So you got to feed yourself the right stuff. When you're feeding yourself negativity, you're going to lose passion. When you're not eating right, when you're not exercising, when you're not juicing, when you're not selling, when you're not reading, when you're not executing, when you're not hustling, these are things that zap the passion. But when you're in the game, sometimes the game is almost more fun than the actual win. Sometimes the climb is almost more fun than the arrival. Everybody's saying hi out here on Periscope. For you that just are joining on Periscope, I'm on a live talk show called Fuel for Success. You can go to fuelforsuccess.tv. It's a daily internet talk show that Mike Hopkins, my business partner, and I do. We're on episode 296. They're all archived. On Thursdays, we talk about business and entrepreneurship. And also on right now on Spreecast, where we're airing. If you go to Spreecast.com and just type in our name, you can find us. Thank you very much, Aaron. I appreciate that. I think that's your name. More said, thank you. Thank you for your retweet. But anyways, Mike, so you're there watching on Periscope. If you were on here on Spreecast, you could ask questions and interact. We got a live chat box here, but you can do the same thing on Periscope. Here we go, Mike. That was good.
Very cool.
Don't you agree with that? I mean, at the end of the day, isn't that the real truth about passion?
I think it is. And just kind of touching back on Tommy's question about the reason why, for me personally, every once in a while, I'll have to go back and revisit that reason why. And I think the reason why has to be very concise, very easy to hold in your head. It can't be like a 3-page thesis. The very focused reason why you're doing what you're doing, that to me is one of the things that I'll go back to, that renews my passion, helps me remember, gets me back to the place in that mental state that I'm looking down the chute ready to go. So that's one trick that I use. I wouldn't call it a trick, but it's just, self-motivating and keeps you focused on what the goal is.
Good stuff. Talked about he's got to revisit his why. And I believe that, Mike. I do. Even people that we're working with in our company, My Health 90, one of the first things we have them do is write down all the reasons why they want to lose weight. And if they'll continuously visit that list and read that list and ingrain their brain in that list, then it's going to help them when they have the food urges to go eat a whole thing of Oreos, which would be hard to do because they would have to drive to the store because we don't allow people to keep Oreos in their house, which is a secret, my friends. Don't keep junk food in your house and you'll be less likely to eat it. Anyways, let's talk, Mike.
Yeah, hey, I want to jump to Britton asked a question, and kind of a long one, but let me read it. I'm considering taking a huge leap of faith with regards to my school and job so that I can fast forward to opening my clinic. She's looking for recommendations for ways to determine if long-term benefit outweighs short-term risk. At what point is it not worth the risk? This is a long-term benefit versus short-term risk kind of scenario. Sometimes you got to take a leap of faith not knowing how it's going to turn out. What would you say to Britton?
Britton, good question. For you that are on Periscope, Britton, who's a single mom who's thinking about taking a huge leap of faith to launch her company regarding her school and job. She's raising 2 kids. Great question, very practical. For you that are just joining on Periscope, many of you are asking where this is. If you'll go to Spreecast.com and type in, Mike, would they type in Fuel for Success, right?
Yeah, that'll get you there.
Type in Fuel for Success, and it'll get you to our show. Just click join. You can also find it on my Facebook, Matt Maddox. I put the link on our Twitter, or you can get it later on our website, fuelforsuccess.tv. That's actually a really good question. Britton, I'm going to answer this in a couple of ways. I'm going to answer it in just a straight up way. Then I'm going to come back a little bit and talk to you as a single mom, because I know that when you're a mom and you have kids to look out for, it's a little bit, risky or whatever. But here's the deal, Mike. I so believe in risk taking. I think too many people play it safe. I think too many people, allow comfort and the life of security. And I know women by nature need more security than men, and I totally understand that because I'm literally the type that I would take any risk necessary to succeed and to grow my business. And, I've gone deep on this over the last few days on taking My Health 90 to the world and taking it global and really breaking through it and having like deep conversations with the type of risk that I would need to take. And basically the inner conversation is saying, okay, you're going to become an enemy of comfort. Right now in this season of your life, you have got to become an enemy. You and comfort are enemies. So the risk, Britton, I would tell you as an entrepreneur, Mike and I were having a talk about this yesterday. We had a situation, which I can't talk about right now, but it revolves around My Health 90. And I said, Mike, I know we're cut out for entrepreneurship because this would destroy most people and put them in a bed of depression for 3 weeks. And we were literally over it probably less than 2 minutes. Less. But when I say over it, I mean like over it. Like, okay. And it was like a huge deal. But at the end of the day, you got to be set here, Britton. Your mind you've got to, okay, Make a list of all the risks. Okay, make a list of all the worst case scenarios. Let me get practical with you now. Make a list of all the worst things that could happen if you take this leap of faith, okay? And then take a calculated risk and say, okay, as long as it doesn't put me in jail, as long as I can feed my kids, as long as, whatever, you might have to go without air conditioning. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what kind of sacrifice you're going to have to make, to make this happen, I'm saying. So as long as you're realistic about the worst case scenarios, and the risks, like put them down on paper so you can look at it and say, okay, and think through every angle. Like if I take this leap of faith, make sure you've got cash flow as well. I would tell anybody that's starting a business that cash flow I mean, can you make it without cash flow? Yeah, as long as you're willing to starve and sleep in your car, but at the end of the day, cash is king in the world of an entrepreneur and business. Cash is the life of a business. So that's why I would say, Britton, if you're getting ready to start your clinic, I would find a way to save as much cash as possible to try to not need a paycheck for 6 months. If you can get yourself in a position where you don't need a paycheck for 6 months, or maybe you just could say, okay, I'm going to only pay these bills and that's it. I'm not going to do anything extra. I mean extra meaning no Starbucks, no trips, no eating out. I mean, how much will you need to sacrifice? I know I kind of went long on that, Mike, because it's kind of a broad question because I'm not sure what that leap of faith is. So that's just in general what I would say to anybody that is looking at taking a risk, leap of faith, and starting a business. What would you add to that, Mike? I'm gonna let you guys watch.
I would say, first of all, you good? I would say, first of all, this is a business question. This is a question about, of course, you're balancing risk in your life, and it's impossible to really separate, life from business when you're starting a business because they're very intertwined and integrated. But at the same time, it's a business question, and the first thing I would say in every single case is do the math. Okay, look at the numbers. Do the numbers make sense? When you're calculating risk versus long-term reward, you have to do the math. Put the numbers down on paper, look at them, see if they work out, and then you have to have a direction. Know what your plan is so that you know when you're getting off into the weeds when it comes to the numbers. And because at the end of the day, just like Matt said, cash flow is king. You can't run a business without money. You can't run a business without money, period. And you have to follow the money. You have to be in a position where you have cash flow coming in so that you can execute the business, that sort of thing. Now, again, if you have savings, like Matt said, that all that does is that adjusts the numbers a little bit. At the end of the day, you have to do the math. Yeah, exactly. And you have to look at the numbers, understand the numbers, know the numbers inside and out, and that will help you understand the long-term benefit versus the short-term risk. And then even look at what are the long-term risks. Like, let's say what happens at that point. Then what? Right? Then what happens? And once you get to the place where you're looking at that, where you're looking at as long term, what happens at that point? So you want to have a plan in place and look at what the risk is, and as Matt, and the numbers will guide you. Just everything that Matt said about.
You see the risk, face it. Be like, okay, that's not too bad. Sleeping in my car for a while, that's not bad. I mean, it could be worse, right? I mean, whatever it is, not eating out for 3 months. I don't know, not going on a vacation, whatever the risk is, face it and say, okay, is it worth it? Yes, because I do believe in high risk, high reward, Mike. I really do. At the end of the day, it takes guts, it takes risk, it takes bold. And a shout out to Derek, who is came on from Periscope, who just found us on Fuel for Success. Good to see you, Derek. Actually, Periscope is an app that you can download on your phone. And you can watch, I do probably 10 a day, 10 different, just small little whatevers, so.
Hey, one more quick thing for Britton, just as a follow-up to what I said. Of course, I'm talking about doing the math and doing the numbers, but it isn't necessarily all that really does is that allows you to quantify the risk. In some cases, you still have a gap that you're going to have to say, look, I don't know 100% that I'm going to be able to cross that gap. But that 3 months from now, if I have this kind of growth, then I'll cross that gap. I know that it's going to take a lot of work. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to get there. Don't be, don't suffer from paralysis by analysis. In other words, sometimes you do have to look at it and say, okay, now I understand the risk. I can quantify it. I can like get my mind around what exactly the risk is. The risk is if I don't make 100 sales in these 3 months, I'm sunk and I'm going to lose everything I have, right? At least now you know what it is, and then you can decide, okay, do I have confidence that I can do that? Yes, I do. Go forward. That would be
You know
my
what,
advice.
people, we got to close the show, Mike, because we're almost out of time. It's usually a 30-minute talk show, but sometimes we get in the flow, especially on our family and relationship days. Sometimes we bust out 45 minutes. But hey, Mike, Katie's, she's letting you know that you can use her quotes.
I
Just
appreciate
letting you.
that, Katie.
Hey, thank you. You can find the replay, Derek. All you got to do is click this link. So if you'll go up in the URL and copy and paste, or just it'll be right on Spreecast, or it'll be on feelforsuccess.tv. We're also on iTunes, Derek. Go to iTunes, and every one of our episodes are on there for free to download. We're on YouTube. Feel for Success is pretty much everywhere. Mike, I want to kind of wrap it up by saying this, and it was really good, but my mind went blank, and it'll come back to me. Saying this, Mike, at the end of the day, it'll come back to me. What were we just talking about? I just know it was good. It was extremely motivational.
I don't know. I think it was paying royalties to Katie for quotes. I'm not sure what we were talking about.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
paralysis
Katie's
analysis
about to take
and
this whole show over. Mike, this is what I was going to say. I was going to say that, okay, in the world of business, entrepreneurship, taking risk, whatever the case may be, understand this, that sometimes, you got to be cut out for it, right? If you're not cut out for it, then be okay with where you're at. Not everybody has to start a business, not everybody has to be an entrepreneur, right? You can take these principles and you can apply them to your life. But here's the deal. This is why I say you got to be cut out for it. Mike, you have to understand that about 90% of your family, friends, acquaintances are going to think you're absolutely nuts. If you're okay with people thinking that you're crazy, hearing from well-meaning people that getting looks like this when you're telling them a story, or when you're like telling them what you're about to do and they're like, or your mom says, they ignore you, like, listen, what 99.9% of the reason why I'm homeschooling my son is for his baseball career. Like, the path of success is extreme. And do you know how many people that I've tried to explain this to that are like, let him be a kid. What about his social life? I'm like, tell him that when he's like 20 making millions. Then let's talk about his social life. Like literally, sometimes, Mike, we forget because we want everyone to conform to this cookie cutter model. We want everyone to be a certain way. And we live in this American society where everybody's got to be exactly the same, that we forget that some of the most success, like if you knew the path that Walt Disney took to build Disney World, like you wouldn't even want to sit down and have a conversation with him. The amount of extremism that's involved in success, and you've got to be willing to just take the people who give you funny looks and say things like, wow, don't you think you work a little too much? What about balance? What about, and at the end of the day, you got to kind of ignore, because when you have conversations with, don't get offended, but when you have conversations with average people, that's all they think. They funnel everything through an average mind. They're not like, when people talk to me and they tell me, extreme, like things that they did, I'm like, I get it. I understand. Like, good for you. That's awesome. Like people are, like that's the way, that's the path. And not, of course, not everybody. I'm not saying that everybody that starts a business is going to sleep in their car. I'm not saying that everybody starts a business, or I'm not saying that every kid wants to go play professional baseball has to homeschool. I'm just saying for our path, it was the choice we had to make, and it was an extremely strategic choice. I know what I'm doing over the next 4 years when he graduates. I know exactly what I'm doing and why I've gone that route, and I believe it's going to pay off. Does it make sense to 90% of my family and friends? Not at all. Do I care? Not even 1%. And that's where you got to get. You got to get to where you don't care.
That's right.
You got, Mike, don't you?
Right.
You got to get to where you don't care. You got to get to where you respect and say, thanks for your concern. You know how many times I've had to say to people, not just about
Hey,
my son in homeschool, but just about stuff that I've done, risk I've taken.
you
I'll
know
be like,
what,
hey,
Matt?
thanks for your concern. I appreciate that.
It goes back to our earlier questions about passion and the why. And once you've got it settled in your mind, this is what I'm doing because I believe in it, and this is why, nobody can steer you away from it. You have to get to that place because it's a rough road. Listen, the grind is punishing, and the trip can be brutal. But I love the game. I love being in it. I love doing it. I love those looks.
I do.
Come
I
on,
love
bring
them
it.
because you know what I
All
love?
right.
You know what I love more than anything? I love the country song, How Do You Like Me Now? Like, that is my theme song. Like, to me, when it's all said and done, the thrill, and it's not an ego thing for me. It's not. It's the thrill. It's the thrill of saying, I bet on myself. I knew what I was doing, and I was right. Because I know, Mike, and what I'm betting on right now and what we're doing and the path that we're taking with My Health 90, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that it's the number one health and weight loss process on earth. And I know that. I know it. And I know it's only going to get better and better and better. And I know that when it gets discovered, the game is over, my friends. That we will literally be helping millions of people lose weight the right way. Because I feel like there's a weight loss and health revolution taking place right now. It's not just about weight loss. It's about health, my friends. So that's why I say even skinny people need to be in My Health 90. Because I know skinny people that are not healthy. So it's all about your health because it's all you have. You can get another car, you can get another house, you can get another job. But you cannot get another body, my friends. You get one. So go to myhealth90.com. We're closing it out. It's our website. We got some free stuff on there. We got 50 of my juice recipes from my book, Just Juice It. And we also, Mike, we have not given away a juice book in forever. Let's give one away right now. Let's close the show and let's give away a copy of my juice book. If you that are on Periscope, you can get involved in this as well. I'm going to show you how to do it.
Let's text the word give, Give, to
That's my
727
business partner right there.
5599. That's how we're
Yeah,
going to
we
do the giveaway today.
shocking each other.
Text the word give to 727-341-5599. Not only will you get a juice book, but you get a personal visit from Matt. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, I'm going to show up and have lunch with you. Go text this number. You're on Periscope. 727-341-5599. Text the word give to 727-341-5599. And we're going to give away a copy of my juicing book right now. So we're going to tell you who the winner is. So you text it in the next minute. Mike's going to tell you who the. So if you're watching later on the archive, sorry you missed. You got to be live for this giveaway. Been a while since we've given away one of my books. But anyway, so on myhealth90.com, here's what we do. We like to get people started into health. If you never join, there are 4 ways we can help you. Number 1 is we're going to give you a video called The 5 Keys to Energy. You have to watch this. It'll change your life, okay? Free. No strings attached. Number 2 is we're giving you a video called The Basics of Juicing. You have to watch this. It'll teach you everything you need to know about juicing, okay? We're giving that to you. 0 strings attached, okay? Free. Just to get you thinking about health. And then the 3rd video you're going to watch is the top 10 secrets to weight loss. Free. You watch that, it'll at least get you started into losing weight and getting healthy. And then 50 free recipes of my juice book. Free. We're giving that to you. So go to myhealth90.com and you can check it out. It's on the website. All you got to do is follow the instructions, my friends. Don't forget about our webinar tonight, seminar. Mike and I are going live tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will Periscope it. I might Meerkat it, actually. So follow me on Meerkat as well. It's 10 Habits of Healthy People tonight at 9 p.m. EST. So, Mike, do we have a winner, my friend? Here comes the winner. You ready?
1 second. Working on it.
Mike basically he's a technology animal. He's so good at technology, has all this stuff automated and just whatever. How many different numbers do we have, Mike? Do you know?
Phone numbers?
Yeah, the seminar will be on Spreecast, Ashley. It sure will. Good question. Good seeing you again, by the way. Welcome back.
All right. So I've got my random number generator, and we're drawing right now. The winner is.
And the winner is.
Looks like a Texas number ending in 5722. Who is that?
If your number ends in 5722, say that's me. Or text Mike. Text that same number and say, do they, Mike? Do they say me?
Yeah, sure, that works.
Say me.
If you're watching the show live right now and your phone number ends in 5722, let us know. I don't have a caller. It's Pacey. I was thinking maybe it was Pacey.
Pacey won. Congratulations to the one and only Pacey. So Pacey, you got a copy of my book.
Address, Pacey.
Sure, you already have a copy. If you want to give it to somebody else, or you want to keep one in your car, keep one in your kitchen, keep one at work. You need like 3 copies of my book. That way you can reference it everywhere you are.
I actually keep a couple copies in my laptop bag, and I give them to people on occasion. So that's how I roll. A lot of times people are just like, they don't understand juicing, and I'm like, hey, you know what? Here, take a copy of this. Hey, great show today, Matt. Thank you so much.
Title of my next book that I'm trying to have done in 2 weeks. You want to hear it?
What? Yes. Thought that was a rhetorical question.
Trying to have that done in the next 2 weeks. How to lose weight the right way. And it's just a good, practical, simple book. I know there's thousands of weight loss books out there, but this will be the best. So anyways, we love you guys, and looking forward to seeing y'all next Tuesday. Well, tonight, of course, for our seminar. But as far as Fuel for Success, Mike, we went way over today. But we will be back next Tuesday at 9 p.m. EST for Talk Show Fuel for Success. If you liked this, you enjoyed it, put it out on your Facebook, your Twitter, tell your friends about it, send it to your grandma, email it, text it, and then don't forget to subscribe to Spreecast. Also check us out on fuelforsuccess.tv for any archive, 296 episodes. Mike, does that mean next week we'll hit 300 or the week after?
The week after. We'll do 7, 8, and 9 next week, and then 300 on the following Tuesday.
Awesome. It'll be a health show. Love you guys. Peace out. I'm going to talk to Periscope land for a second real quick.